It is very cold in Chicago right now, like it's supposed to be in January. We're here hanging out on the lakefront near Foster Avenue looking north. And the day after I shot this footage, the temperature dropped below freezing. So while I would love to be on a bike, it is medically dangerous to be riding right now. So we're doing this instead. Let's talk about performance consistency. There is a phenomenon wherein new improv students tend to believe that their progress in improv will be linear. Every show or practice will be just a little bit better than the one before. And there's a corresponding phenomenon wherein new improv students have 3 good practices, say, followed by 2 bad practices, and they'll start to wonder if they suck at improv. Tarnation, they say. I'm objectively worse at improv than I was a month ago, so I should probably just quit before my ability to stand upright on stage degenerates completely, because that's the mathematically logical direction that I'm headed. Well, good news. That is irrational. There is no such thing as linear progression. You will never, ever have 5 performances where each one is a little better than the last, all right? It'll never happen. Your brain is a 3-pound lump of spongy electric meat powered by gland juice, right? There is no guarantee of consistency from this organ. Now, realistically, the quality of your performances will look more like this, and if you're only listening and not watching, I'm waving my hand up and down like a sine wave. Up here at the top, your performances will be really great. You'll also go down here at the bottom with really bad performances, and somewhere in the middle, you'll have a bunch of really mediocre performances. This is going to happen over and over forever. And this is how it'll be at every scale. In the big picture, you'll have good shows and bad shows and mediocre shows. And in the small picture, you'll have good scenes, bad scenes, and mediocre scenes. And in the really small picture, within those scenes, you'll make good moves and bad moves and mediocre moves. And this also applies to other arts and hobbies. Do you like to cook? Well, some of the food you make will be great, some will be terrible, and a bunch of it will just be all right. Are you, a gymnast? You'll have some good flips, I guess, some bad flips, and a bunch of really average flips. What else? You make YouTube videos, you'll make some good videos, some bad.
Successful Moves for the Business Haver by Angus Big Waffle Bimmel. That's me.
Now, there are 2 really important reasons why I'm telling you all this. The first is that you have to give yourself permission to fail, because you will have bad shows. This is one of the main reasons I got into teaching improv and why I'm still very passionate about it over a decade later. If I can only do one thing with my life, I want it to be deprogramming the residual fear people have from American public school, where they trick you into believing that poor performance is evil and unusual, and it's a shocking aberration if you don't get everything right when you're 15 years old. That is absurd. Of course it's okay to fail. Of course you can get it wrong and try again. Life is not a Scantron. I get really worked up about this. I apologize. I really hated school. The second reason I'm making this video is to assure you that with practice you will improve. And as you improve, your performances will go like this. Again, if you're listening and not watching, I'm still moving my hand in a sine wave pattern, but now I'm raising it above my head. With sufficient practice and experience, you will still have bad shows, of course, but you will find that those bad shows have become above average, and your mediocre shows are actually pretty good, and your good shows are amazing. This is very attainable. Now, I avoid giving life advice because improv is not therapy and it can't fix your shit. And also, personally, I have not known what I am doing for many years. Full stop. But all that said, if you are feeling frustrated with your progress in improv, consider this philosophy. Don't set goals. Instead, create systems. Now, you can find many terabytes of information about this philosophy on Google, but here is the simple explanation. A goal indicates where you want to go, but it doesn't help you get there, right? Like, setting a goal to be funnier, as many improv students do, is unattainable. How do you even gauge how close you are to achieving that goal, let alone how to get there? But by contrast, a system gets you moving in a productive way without forcing you in a specific direction. So if you want to get funnier, build a system where you do improv 3 times a week, or you write bits for 30 minutes every day. And after 6 months of that, you will have become better at comedy, and you'll start seeing opportunities that you didn't even know existed back when you were just thinking about goals. So, dump your improv goals, build systems instead. Consider it. So, thanks for hanging with me. I'm rooting for you, and stay warm.